If you struggle to focus on one task for more than 2 minutes and you feel like you're not as productive as you should be, don't worry, you're not alone. In this video, I'm going to talk about why Andrew Huberman, the famous neuroscientist, says that what you do immediately before or after the task you're working on might actually be destroying your ability to be productive, and I'll give you his suggestions to solve that problem. Let's get into it. So you see, nowadays, many people before work, on the way to work, and in their breaks between work, actually spend their time on their phones. And what feels like relaxing downtime to them actually is undermining their ability to focus later on. Because when you're bombarding your brain with information, it's not just working on them in the moment. In fact, it's still processing the information you're giving it like 10 and 15 minutes later. So when you listen to a podcast on the way to work, or when you scroll through your social media feed before work, your brain is actually still processing all of this. And there's no wonder that you cannot really focus on the work in front of you. The same thing is true for the breaks you are taking in between work. Many people use these breaks to just throw more and more information at their brain, but instead of relaxation, that actually leads to more overstimulation. And that way you are undermining your ability to focus even more. Your brain is literally layering and stacking sensory information, but it's only capable to process so much at a time. So your ability to think actually is limited by the amount of sensory inputs you're processing right now. And the more competing sensations there are, the more difficult it actually is to focus on one thing. So this is why Andrew Huberman actually suggests to take boring breaks. That means no scrolling through your phone, no extra stimulation from anywhere, just staring out of the window, focusing on your breath, being bored essentially. Because that way you are processing what you did just before the break. So boring breaks actually are clearing your brain's sensory cue. Another idea he has is that you should have an anti-sensory pre-work routine where you give yourself very little input for 5 to 15 minutes before a really important task, because that way it will be way easier for you to focus on that. So no music, no conversation, no phone just before these important tasks. That will make it infinitely more easy for you to focus and to get these things done. So make yourself as bored as possible right before work, because that primes the brain for deeper focus. Additionally, what can help you to be more productive on the long term is that even after a working session, you should take a boring break so that you can give your brain the time to process what it just learned or worked on. And that way, a lot more of the information you just processed will stick for the future. All in all, the less we are stimulating our brains with sensory information, the better it is for processing what you lived through, what you learned, what you focused on through the day, and the more effective your working sessions actually will become. So as I said on this channel many times before, limiting your screen time is just incredibly important. And not only will it give you back a lot of the time you're missing in your day, but it will also just improve your ability to be productive. The counterintuitive truth here is that productivity is not necessarily about doing more. It actually can be about doing less. And these boring breaks and the boredom before and after important working sessions actually is a big part and an important part of the work. So silence is productivity. Your brain needs space to process. So stop feeding it with constant information and let it actually integrate what you just learned. So I actually want you to try this. The next time you're working on something important, take 10 minutes before that and just do nothing. And when you are actually taking breaks from your work, just make them as boring as possible. Just stare out the window, stare at a wall, and just be bored. Give your brain the space to process what you just worked on, and then go on working. And even after your working session, give your brain at least 10 more minutes in silence And you'll see how this will improve your general ability to focus and to be productive. Now, I understand that putting your phone away can be difficult for many people, so I actually made this video for you where I talk about how I limited my screen time from 4 hours every single day to less than 30 minutes. I wish you a very nice day and I hope to see you very soon. Goodbye.